to day 3 of our medieval dinner party at home. Now, no dinner party would be complete without some decorations for the table. So today, we're going to make ourselves a medieval candle to light up the room. So for this, you're going to need a pair of scissors, some sellotape, a piece of card, some flame-coloured pens or pencils, an empty toilet roll tube, 2 paintbrushes, some PVA glue, some white paint, and some greenery. Medieval dinner tables could be fairly simply decorated. You wouldn't have a separate room to go to, so there'd be no dining room where you'd go to eat. Instead, you might just get a piece of wooden board and lay it on some trestles, and that would become your dining table. You could chuck on a cloth, and that cloth would also double up as a handy napkin if you wanted to wipe your fingers during your meal. So we're going to make ourselves, for our dinner table, a nice candle. And they were actually made from cow or sheep's fat back then. So you take the animal fat, you'd warm it up in a pan, and in the pan you'd get this sort of lumpy stuff, and you'd get this liquid that came when it was warm. And you would drain off the liquid, pour it into a mould, and that would make your candle. So we're going to make something like this, not quite made from animal fat. We're going to use old toilet rolls for ours. So let's get started. So you're going to take your toilet roll, and the first thing we're going to do is add some paint. So I've got some white paint here. If you don't have white paint, you can use a different colour, maybe a yellow or something like that. And we're going to paint all the way around. You might need to put a couple of coats on, depending on how thick your paint is. So once you've completely covered your toilet roll in white paint, leave it to dry. Now I've got one that I prepared earlier. So once you've painted your toilet roll and it's completely dry, we can then think about adding some drips. So I don't know if you can see on this one, but we've got some little, it looks like little drips coming down the side there. So to make our drips, we're going to use some PVA glue. So I've got my glue here, and PVA glue looks white, but it actually dries clear. So what I'm going to do is add a bit of our white paint into the mix so that we have it dry white. So you can just take a little scoop, pop it in. Lovely. And then I'm going to mix it up with a slightly smaller brush. Make sure it's all nicely mixed together. And then we're going to add it to our toilet roll. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it all around the top. Sort of blob it on. And then I'm going to just encourage it to drip down the side. So you know when a candle melts and you get that nice wax sort of dribbling down? It should look kind of like that's what's happening with ours. So you go all the way around with that and then leave it to dry. It might take a little while to dry, but you can get there. So once you've done that, you should then have something that looks a little bit like this. So this is one where I've added in the PVA and that's dried all the way around, so I'm happy with that. So the next thing we're going to do is to add our flame. So we need to add something coming up the top. So you're going to take your piece of card and draw a nice flame shape. So you want the bottom of the flame to be about the same width as the top of your toilet roll tube. So I'm going to just measure it up, something like that. And then I'm going to do a nice big flame like that. And I'm going to colour it in. I'm going to do an orange one this time. You could use orange, red, yellow, any kind of flame colours, anything that you think looks good. And then once I've coloured that one in, I'm going to take my scissors and cut it out. So cut all the way around. So you've got a flame shape that you're happy with. And then you can colour in the back as well. So you've got both sides coloured in. And then I've done 2 flames on mine. You might want to do 3, depends how big you want them. You might want to pack lots in. So do as many of those as you want. I've gone for 2 for this one. So here's 2 I did earlier. And we're just going to tape them to the inside of our cardboard tube. So take some sticky tape, add it onto one side, and then we can bend it and add it and stick it to the inside of our tube. And I'm going to do my other piece of tape and stick that inside there. So there we've got ourselves a nice decoration candle for our medieval dinner table. What I thought was quite nice to do is because quite often they would bring greenery in from the outside to decorate their homes. So I've gone into the kitchen garden here at the barn and I've selected some nice rosemary. So with our rosemary, all you can see I've done on this one is made a sort of, almost like a wreath to go around the bottom. So I've just split some of this. I'm going to just lay it around the bottom to make a nice centrepiece like that. And the great thing about rosemary is it smells really nice too. So you've got the look of the candle and then you've got the smell of the rosemary in the air as well. So there we have it. We've got ourselves a medieval decoration for our dinner table. Join us tomorrow where we'll be getting cooking.